Hey, it's Bernard Nomberg, and I want to take a couple of minutes to talk about a serious thing that is occurring quite often, way too often, in the streets and the highways in the state of Alabama. And we've dealt with these cases many times, and they really are not, they can be prevented, but they're not good results. And it's dealing with when there is construction on the roadways and people get hurt due to collisions. And there's many players, there's many factors here in town, involved in this. And one example is in downtown in Birmingham, they're restructuring the highway system in downtown. It's going to be for a little over a year of dealing with this. And if anybody's been through there, you'll see all of the permanent structures that are up, the temporary structures that are up, warning people that you're getting rerouted or you need to slow down or you're being flagged through or stopped. And it really becomes a very hazardous construction zone if you're not paying attention. And typically, whoever's in charge of the construction of the work that's being done, they're going to put up the proper and necessary safety measures in place, but that doesn't always mean that they're going to be followed. People are distracted while driving. People who are in the construction, in the danger zones, if you will, sometimes they don't always follow protocol. And there's many causes for these roadway accidents. And it could be that people are merging. It could be that they're driving too fast. There's a host of reasons. A construction vehicle could be pulling out. You never know. But there's many types of common injuries that occur to those people who are actually driving the vehicles, and well as to the people who are the actual workers who are in those can be dangerous spots. And it could be people from being struck by vehicles, could be from falls, electrocutions, crash or crush injuries. For drivers involved in roadway construction, they also have similar type of injuries from collisions, from the temporary railings that are put up, or from the inattentive drivers who may come into their construction area. Debris or materials may be flying off. There's a whole host of things that are there. Well, then the question becomes, who's responsible for these types of injuries? Now, the people who are working on the roadway themselves, workers' comp has in place our laws to cover their injuries, but there's also potentially the legal claims that could be made against the drivers themselves who caused the accidents and created the injuries. Work comp doesn't always cover everything, far from it, in Alabama, particularly if it's catastrophic or leads to death by somebody else's negligence. Pain and suffering is not covered by work comp and the like, and only part of lost wages, etc. On the other hand, if you're the driver and someone runs you off the road or you're in a collision, well, you've got those types of claims that the drivers can make against the other drivers who caused the accident. And in some instances, the people who are in charge of the construction zones, if they've created a dangerous situation, they might be responsible. Regardless of what type of injuries and who's involved, there are certain things that you should do as soon as an accident or something occurs. If you're able to, or if there are people in your vehicle, you need to report it immediately. If you're an employee, if you're a construction worker, let your supervisor or have somebody notify the supervisor or management as soon as possible so you can start the work comp claim. A protocol. If you're a driver and get into a crash, well, the police or the highway patrol need to be notified immediately because emergency responses may be needed for either of those scenarios. Document as best you can with photographs, witnesses, those types of things. But if all possible, get the medical care as soon as you can, because that's much more important than any potential claims that may be going on in the future. And then speak to an experienced attorney for these matters. And here at the Nomberg Law Firm, we've represented many people in construction, roadway, injuries and accident claims, both from the standpoint of being the driver who's involved in the claim, had the crash, or the construction worker who's injured. But we'll be glad to speak to you about either types of these claims. We can be reached at 205-930-6900 is our office number. Nomberglaw.com is our website. If you like this video, please give us a thumbs up, and if you didn't, please tell us why. We'd love it if you'd subscribe to our YouTube channel. We put up videos all the time. We also can be reached or found on Facebook as well as Twitter.